Hello and welcome to another Doctor Who Big Finish video. Hey, got the t-shirt on, isn't that great? Yes, today I'll be looking at the main range release, Lure of the Nomad. So we've kind of got two trilogies happening at once. So we've got the Unit trilogy, which will be picked up in July with Hour of the Cybermen, containing the 6th Doctor versus the 80 Cybermen, which haven't appeared since the Reaping and the Gathering, so back in release number, where is it? 86 and 87. But yeah, we start the new 6th Doctor trilogy with Lure of the Nomad. Now this is a monumental release, and it's monumental in the sense that we say goodbye to the sidebar. Now the sidebar has been a staple of Big Finish for about what, 10 years plus. It's been there since what release did it first come in? It happened in 93. Release number 93, and now we're on 238. So it's been here for a while, and it's happened on the 4th Doctor Adventures, Companion Chronicles, Early Adventures. It's been a staple on the Big Finish cover for a while, and it's going to be quite sad seeing it go, but times change, so there we go. So yeah, goodbye sidebar, you'll be sadly missed, but here we are. Hopefully we'll get some new exciting covers and we'll get to explore more space, because obviously the sidebar does take up a little bit of space. So we can have some more exciting covers, so we'll be harking back to the early days of Big Finish when we first got the main range releases. So there we go, Lure of the Nomad. So without further ado, let's look at the presentation for this release and go on to my
So taking a look at the cover art, we have the 6th Doctor there holding a crystal. We've got a octopody or a Makara. If you've listened to the story, you'll get that little joke. Then we've got some nice sort of shapes in the background there. And then we have the iconic sidebar there as well. Then the side. And the back of the story, so if you want to know more about the story, do feel free to pause. And then we have the cast list there, and the total running time being 120 minutes. Taking a look inside the leaflet now, we have advertisements for the next instalment in the 6th Doctor trilogy there, Iron Bright by Chris Chapman. And obviously they haven't updated the cover just yet, so we've got advertisement for Doctor Who magazine, production credits, and the reversible cover there if you want the Colin Baker era logo. And the disc art is exactly the same for both discs. So what are my opening thoughts on Lure of the Nomad? Well, overall, I did enjoy this release. I think if you're new to Big Finish, then this will be a nice jumping on point, as this story is not a challenging listen, it's a nice, easygoing story with the pacing being very methodical, which is not a bad thing, as this story is a mystery and it keeps its cards close to its chest. Now, when you read the synopsis, you may think, well, this sounds like your traditional bog-standard Doctor Who story, and yes, from the outside, it does appear that way. But this story has so many layers, so many questions to be answered, and some thrilling twists along the way. Part 1. Now we do see the 6th Doctor have a new companion in the form of Matthew with one T and Sharp with an E. Now that's a pretty bold move, as this story isn't his introduction. We see him and the 6th Doctor midway through the adventures, with us getting some nice little exciting references of their previous adventures with them battling the Quarks, meeting Samuel Pepys. And that's one thing I will say about Matthew J. Elliott. He throws in some nice references to Classic Who in a fun, jokey way throughout the story, and he does it the right amount of times, and it doesn't take anything away from the story. So the pre-title sequence sets up the story pretty good in my opinion, and it'll make sense when you reach part 4. So it sets up the mystery vibe, you know, it also sets up the main questions of the story, you know, what secret is this ship hiding? Why has the TARDIS got a distress signal in the vortex, which is impossible? And also, why can the Doctor hear music and no other people can? Overall, I think this is a good solid episode, full of world building, intriguing, a bunch of characters, and the odd gruesome moment, you know. It's just a part full of intrigue. Part 2, we continue to have some nice Classic Who references, with the 5th Doctor being better looking than the 6th Doctor, and a mention of Perry. And we also expand on Matthew and how the 6th Doctor met him, and we get how he became a companion done in flashback, so that's quite nice. We also expand on a character called Willoway, where we have some lovely scenes between her and the Doctor, where on the other side of the story we have Matthew and Eric Drazen, and we continue the mystery of who sent the signal and why the Makaran's suit's gone faulty, and also this time disturbance is thrown in, so things really start to get exciting and heated up, and we get a good old classic cliffhanger. So yeah, this story is shaping up to be a good one. Part 3, we start to get some answers of the ship origin. The story starts to go full circle and we see the story take a different direction. So a bit of a curveball, and I think that's very much the running theme for this part. And the cliffhanger, what a twist. Absolutely brilliant stuff, and really makes you want to go straight to part 4 to see how this story concludes. Honestly, part 3 is just magnificent, just the twist at the end. Oh, I didn't see that coming at all. It was absolutely superb. Part 4, everything has come to a head. The Doctor is really put in a tight corner, making it a very tense part to listen to. The story continues to twist and turn, and we get answers why the Doctor and Matthew were brought here. And I will say this, it's a very satisfying conclusion to this story with a rather bittersweet ending. Moving on to characters now with the Doctor, another magical performance by Colin Baker. This is the proper Big Finish 6th Doctor, very warm feeling, you know, very witty with him cracking a few jokes, mocking Mel's exercise bike and carrot juice. With us having the classic 6th Doctor vocabulary with the extravagant words, what he would say. And he has this sort of teacher vibe going on alongside that. He's deeply concerned with what's going on. So yeah, wonderful performance by Colin Baker. This is true Big Finish 6th Doctor in a Big Finish story. It's just brilliant. I love Colin in this. He's just absolutely warm, and yeah, he's absolutely wonderful in
Matthew
this story.
Sharp,
played by George Shear. I have to say George Shear did a fantastic job, as you really believe that him and Matthew and the Doctor have been travelling for a while. They very much have the chemistry like the second Doctor and Jamie, and we all know what that's like. The second Doctor and Jamie are just iconic. They're just a brilliant pairing. So the chemistry between the 6th Doctor and Matthew is very much like that. So I really did enjoy the interactions between those two. You know, he's quite sarcastic at the Doctor's remarks. You know, he's quite unimpressed sometimes at the Doctor, and frustrated because the Doctor's like, oh, don't wander off. And what does the Doctor do? He wanders off, so he can be quite unimpressed with the Doctor. But yeah, brilliantly performed by George Shear there. Eric Drayson, played by Matthew Holness. Another excellent performance, and what a horrible piece of work. Very much reminds me of the character Gordon, I think it was, from Voyage of the Damned. Quite a boastful, self-centered businessman, but does have his chance to redeem himself. And I'm going to be honest, if he did become the companion, I've got to be honest, him and the 6th Doctor would make for quite an interesting TARDIS team, I will say that. But yeah, very interesting character and excellently performed. Dr. Willoway, played by Ruth Shears, a very 80s character, you know, this pure vapour in a transparent bodysuit. To me, that just screams 80s, and I think that she's a wonderful character, you know, very fascinated by solids. And has some great scenes with the Doctor, especially in part 2. And it's just a really warm character, with her being very hospitable, you know, offering the Doctor a cup of tea, you know, ginger biscuits. It's just a really nice, sweet character. I really did enjoy Dr. Willoway. So what are my overall thoughts on Law of the Nomad? Well, it's a very intriguing story, full of mystery, twists and turns, a story where you have to think the unexpected. And Makaran are a great little addition with these squids in protective suits and a quite polite threat with the suits malfunctioning, making them kill the crew. So it does have a little bit of an Oxygen vibe in a way, and if you are new to Big Finish, then this will be a nice jumping on point for you, as you get a real taste of the 6th Doctor on Big Finish. Matthew J. Elliott has delivered another excellent tale, full of nice little Easter eggs that will make any fan smile with delight. And the sound design and the music just seems incredibly 80s. It is absolutely brilliant. I absolutely love this story, so I'm going to give this story 8 cat badges out of 10. A very good start to this trilogy, and definitely a story what I really enjoyed, and I can't wait to go back and revisit this, and hopefully one day we'll have more adventures with the 6th Doctor and Matthew to get some of those little stories. I would love to see the adventure with the 6th Doctor and Matthew battling the Quarks and meeting Samuel Pepys. That would be lovely. So yeah, who knows, we may see those adventures sometime in the future. But yeah, very good start to this trilogy, so I'm going to give the Law of the Nomad an 8 out of 10. Certainly a release you should look into if you are new into Big Finish and you want to get into the main range. Then this will be quite a nice little way to sort of go into that, because this one, like I said, is the true 6th Doctor on Big Finish. You know, Colin Baker really shines within this story. So thanks very much for watching this Big Finish review. I will see you in my next Big Finish review, which will either be the 4th Doctor Adventures Series 7 Part 2, or, you know, Cyber Reality, or Jago and Lightfoot Forever. It could be any of those, so I'll keep you posted on which one will be next. But yes, that's been my review of The Law of the Nomad. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. So thanks very much, and bye bye.